be touching on this morning? Where do we begin? There's so many of them I could close my eyes and just pull from the skies. I think, seeing that we're here, maybe we can go in a little bit from the weekend. You know, we talk a bit about the music. Maybe we can start there and we build it up. Of course, we're going down to Union Island. Gonna be making a trip around Kingstown and visiting one or two of those ministries as well. Yeah, so I'm expecting another exciting morning inside OMG. Yeah, I'm gonna be in. Well, Bing is out for a couple of days. So guess what? You have me. Alright? Take that whichever way you wanna take it. But it's gonna be me and you, or you and I, whichever way you wanna put it. And Shady, we're gonna be here. But you're seeing. Okay, right. Alright. Just making sure. So check in with us. Let me know who's on the inside already. The early risers, morning. All you come. All you come inside. All you come inside. No sleeping. Rosemary, good morning. Morning. Okay, so we good? Alright. Looks like we're good. Alright, so let me say congratulations to those who participated and won over the weekend. A number of rural carnival activities took place over the weekend. Tempted to go even further and say successfully. You know, we saw the crowds. Revelers came out in the numbers. They were all well supported.
And it's only females.
Remember, we don't say that already. Yeah. We said that already from early, from the jump out. We said that the ladies will be dominating this carnival season. So far, that is it. Congratulations to Angie once again. She took the North Leeward Soca Monarch title. And Kelly came in third, tied for.
I think she took one and we won one side as well too.
East George. Yeah. She did East George as well. All right, and then Kelly, big ups to Kelly. Kelly took South Leeward title. Yeah, so the ladies doing they do. The ladies are getting it done. Fellas, up all your game. But you know I'm going to be rooting for the ladies. Full 100 support for the ladies. All right, now, Shady, I think we have a problem. Musically speaking, I think we have a problem where it's one of the best years that we've had in a very long time as it relates to music. The content, the quality, the production. You know, one of the best years that we've had in a very long time. Now that could be good and that can be bad. Right? The good is that yes, it speaks well as to people understanding the mission and bringing the A game and doing better improvement, development, and so it's progressing. It's progressing. However, with so many songs, where we at now? I know last Friday when I checked, we were way over 400 songs being released for Vincy Mas 2025. Over 400 songs. That's crazy. And the majority of them are good songs. Relatively good songs. The majority of them. Now, in my view, that can be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. Like I said, the good part is we have a whole lot of songs. Nobody should be complaining about the quality and them singing stupidness, and you can't do that this year. The problem that we're facing is that you ain't going to get to hear all, you ain't going to get to hear the majority. And that is already creeping into the argument right now people already complaining that, oh God, they ain't hearing this song, they ain't hearing that song, they ain't hearing the other song. Yes, I agree. From my own personal experience being on the road, I did barely. You know, I attended barely. I was in Bayabu over the weekend. I didn't get to do South Leeward, so I don't know what transpired down inside there. Right? Where else? Mespo. Oh God. Oh wait. Anyway, let me leave Mespo for after. But you find that the DJs are already going down the road where it's just a handful of songs. That is the bad part. It's just a handful of songs that you're getting in the rotation, and I am thinking it's way too early. It's way too early for that. You know, give patrons a chance to familiarize themselves with the songs. It's a whole lot of songs. And in my view, if you have 4 or 5 DJs, there's absolutely no need for them to be playing the same 5. I mean, yes, everybody would want to play the bangers. Yes. But there are others. So even though you play the bangers, try and include the others. There's so many songs. So many songs. Give people a chance to familiarize themselves with the songs. I mean, yes, you can also say that the radio stations can do better. And I ain't being biased, but I think that we've been doing a pretty good job, a hell of a job, with us and the role that we're playing with you, familiarizing yourselves with the songs, with the new songs. I'm just thinking that we can do better. Collectively speaking, we can do much better. All right, with our delivery out there. There's so many. You know, I haven't heard a Wetty, for example. I haven't heard a Matt Skull. I haven't heard Alexi on the road for whatever reason. No, I'm not there for the entire time. So, like I said, from my own personal experience, and it can't be mere coincidence that I've been to 3 different ones and it's the same set of songs that are being rotated. That is a problem. It's too early. It's too early. My personal view, it is too early. Somebody says over 400 songs, but only 5 of them good. You lie. Never. Probably you only heard 5. Probably you only heard 5. But you can't tell me we only have 5 songs that are out for Vincy Mas this year. I could list a number of the artists who've been doing pretty well, who have great songs this year. Proper lyrics, proper quality songs, solid production. So it's way more than 5. It's way more than 5. All I'm saying is that give people, it's still early. We still have just about a month, a little over 3 weeks before we get into the heat, before we get into the main weekend, the highly anticipated weekend when we do road and costumes and all them things. So we still have more than enough time to give people a chance to familiarize themselves with the music that is out. What are your views? Hit me up and let me know. Luca is asking Fuji when you drop in your soca mix. It's out already. It's on YouTube. And just look for the Fugitive Jam session out there on YouTube. It's also on Mixcloud. Yeah, you could use that and familiarize yourselves with a good bit of the songs that are out already. There have been many more that came out after I did that. DJ Beds also, he got one on there as well, so you can check that out as well. Alright, but you can utilize YouTube, check out these songs a lot. Most or the majority of artists, their songs, you could find them on YouTube, for sure. So you could utilize that in the meantime, and you go and you familiarize yourselves with the new music that are out there. All right? I'm just saying. Morning, everybody. Morning to the entire Boom family. OMG. On a Tuesday morning, we're going to make a quick stop. And then when we come back, I'll decide where we're going. We might probably go down to Union Island for a little bit. Let me say Southern Grenadines for a little bit. All right, keep it locked inside. We'll be back after these messages.
It's the launch of the biggest, baddest Calypso 10, The On Tour, going down at the Russell's Auditorium.
Let's go! Boom 106.9, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no one that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we're telling all. Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 106.9.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 106.9.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
For 40 years, we've refined the rhythm of beer, mastering the balance of bold and smooth, crafting flavors that echo through SVG. Between the limes and the laughter, we've carried our expertise across the Caribbean, one brew at a time, perfecting the process, deepening the craft, learning what makes beer not just tasted, but felt. And now, with all that we've learned, we bring you what's next. The next wave of refreshment, the next chapter in our story, the next taste to define a generation. Not just another drink. This is the extension of who we are, the next experience, the next icon. Imagined and brewed right here at home. It's not just what's next for us, it's what's next for you. It's what's beyond expectations. Own it, define it, make your mark. Hyrule next. This is the extension of passion, of possibility. Hyrule next. The future of beer. Made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the hands that have mastered the craft for 40 years.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. a journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I embark on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride, not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips, beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
Can you not have an orgasm for that?
I'm jealous. All of my friends them is jealous, but not me at all. I only have one girl. All the artists them is jealous, but not me at all. I only have one girl. It's only one girl for me. Jamaica. One gal, one in St. Vincent, one in Grenada, one in Antigua. One gal for me. One gal, that's good enough for me. One gal is all I need. One to satisfy my needs.
I don't know how she got my number. This girl keep calling up my phone. She said the feeling's getting stronger, so she requests me to her home. I said I'm coming right away. Want to know what she want from me, only to reach and realize this girl is the devil in disguise.
so we're getting ready now. We're getting ready. Okay, so Sion is gonna be making a link. I didn't even remember. I told you all that the holiday threw off everything, you know. Let me see. So let me see if we got connection. Sion.
Morning, Fuji.
Okay,
morning.
Good. Morning.
How you doing?
Morning. I not too bad, you know. I not too bad, but how you doing? How you doing?
Good. Actually, you sound good. Forget too bad. Forget taking bad out. You sound good. You good.
Thank you, my buddy. How you doing?
I'm well, man. Thank God. Living and hoping to make a difference however I can. You know what I mean?
Lovely.
Yes.
Now, let me just say quickly, I am happy that you are calling, my brother, because for whatever reason others are running, avoiding, for whatever reason. Well, I know we good. I mean, I am of the view that we're all good.
We're all good.
But I appreciate the fact that you're calling.
Absolutely. Now, before you went on the break, you did mention Southern Grenadines, and I'm glad you did, because I wanted to speak a little bit about Southern Grenadines, but contextualize it in a broader context, because on Sunday, Siobhan had her election event on Union Island, where she was elected officially as the ULP's candidate to contest the next general election, coming up against incumbent Terence Oliver. Now, since Beryl, there has been a lot of conspiracy theories being floated about regarding voting and who will vote and who's trying to steal and who's not trying to steal and so on and so forth, which to me amounts to the preparation of an excuse just in case. I know the idea of the stealing of elections became ripe in 2010, where after the referendum, the NDP believed that this was the election to win. They lost the election, a very competitive election. And after that, you heard a lot of things about stealing and so forth. I remember Mrs. Finley, well, even since 2005 with Rodney Adams, but it became even worse in 2010 when Mrs. Finley's Scrub was the recipient of serious abuse from supporters of the New Democratic Party. And this wasn't in any way curtailed or prevented or calmed by the leadership, which I found to be quite disappointing. But I want to take Vincentians back a little bit for a little historical context. Now, Fuji, you may or may not remember this, and there may be a lot of individuals riding to work now or at home who don't know at all. In 1984, when the elections were contested, there were 13 seats or 13 constituencies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 13. The ULP, the SVLP lost that election to the NDP, the newly formed NDP, because the NDP didn't exist before 1979. It was newly formed, and they lost it, I think, 9-4. The resignation of then former Prime Minister Milton Cato led to a by-election. Louis Jones won it, so I think it was 10-3 in the Parliament. I can't remember who the three I think the three were Ken Brown in Mespo, Vincent Beach in North Central Windward, and I believe John Thompson in North Leeward. I believe those are the three who remained in Parliament between 1984 and 89. But during the period 1984 to 1989, with its majority, a number of things happened. And it goes back and has to do with the point I was making last week about the availability of and access to information where Vincentians knew what was happening and how we could have responded to that. During that period, in 1984, there were two seats in Kingston, West Kingston, East Kingston. West Kingston, East Kingston. And there was a single Grenadine seat, Grenadine. The then NDP, the leader of the NDP, former Prime Minister Mitchell, saw a way he can do what is referred to as gerrymandering. It's not a negative term, it's a term. It's a legitimate term. gerrymandering, where he decided, listen, I could cut off some seats here and create what he later on referred to as safe seats for the NDP. So he decided that he was going to make 3 seats in Kingston as opposed to 2. Enter Central Kingston. But what was done to create the safe seats was the area down in Siren Hill there, Rosa area, which was part of West St. George. He moved it and made it part of what is now East Kingston, creating, as I said, what he then referred to in his book, a safe seat, which he then handed to Carlisle Douglas. And then, of course, former Prime Minister Arnhem Houston. So he did that. He realized that the voting bloc that existed down there, being solid NDP, was not used advantageously enough in West St. George, because no matter what, West St. George seems to be solidly Labour. And so he realized, listen, I can move that little area from West St. George, tack it on to East Kingston, in re-engineering those seats in Kingston, and I could have a solid seat in East Kingston. And he did that. And we've seen that no matter how well a Labour candidate does in East Kingston, generally, once it comes to that very little area down in Roseau, that's where the 400 votes, 300 plus votes come in, that overtakes whatever lead the Labour candidate may or may have had. The same thing was done in the Grenadines. You have an area that hosts close to 6,000, if so many, 5,000 electors. But you split it in 2. So where previously there was a single seat that he himself was MP of, he now created 2. Now think about it. Think about an area that has less electors than South Leeward or East St. George or whatever combined, and you're splitting it into 2. Imagine if Labour tried that today. You would not hear the end of it about teething election. But this was done so that by 1989, and mind you, this was within the first term of the NDP. They didn't waste any time with the gerrymandering. He saw what could have been advantageous to him and his party, and he wasted no time. So that by 1989, when you had the election, there were 15 seats to contest, not 13 anymore.
We just have about 10 more minutes, right, CM?
That's fine. I'm monitoring. I'm monitoring.
Right.
Let us know. About 5 minutes. About 5 minutes.
All right. Okay.
Let's 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that, but again, a lack of information. No cabinet, no parliament being broadcast live on radio, no social media, no max to call from overseas to find out why you're cutting a constituency with 4,000 electors into 2 when other constituencies have more than 4,000 electors. None of those things. You had no access to NBC Radio 705 because dissent wasn't allowed. That was shut down. You might have heard some reference in some calypsos, but that's about it. These are the things that happened. Clear gerrymandering to create advantageous situations for his party, which to this day remain significant advantage. So most people would calculate going into elections, there are at least 3 seats that the NDP knows theirs. Northern Grenadines, Southern Grenadines, and East Kingston. Now, some individuals might say there might be more, but at least let's concede those 3.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a situation where, because of Beryl, people have to move, and interestingly, that constituency or part of it, Southern Grenadines, comes into sharp focus. But a lot of the individuals who are talking now seem to have forgotten how we got to a Southern Grenadines in the first place. The clear gerrymandering that occurred between 84 and 89 to create 2 constituencies where really there should only be 1, based on the sheer numbers alone. Now, the truth is, the government has done a remarkable job in repairing many homes thus far, and the work continues. I've never heard any suggestion that the work has stopped. So the work has not stopped. The work continues. People's homes are being repaired. People's houses are being rebuilt. I saw a clip on social media where Dr. Gonzalez was talking about the way things were done in repairing the schools first, the police stations and so on, to make sure that once people start moving back, certain very critical bits of infrastructure were in place. And that's understandable. But the suggestion that somehow by individuals who support the NDP, that there is some hanky-panky because time passes while homes are being repaired, and in their mind, it may not be complete in time for an election. I mean, I believe the focus should be on people's lives being restored, not on an election.
Very true, very true. Now, can I ask? Or can
no,
I?
And I'll let you ask. Just let me finish this one. I understand the anxiety, having been a party that has been involved in gerrymandering. So they know what gerrymandering is. They know what it looks like. And so anything at all that may appear to be something that may give another party an advantage, or they start to run and scream. But I don't see that happening. What I see happening is that the government is properly, methodically repairing the homes of Vincentians living in the Grenadines, and in time, their lives will be restored to, which is the case, either the same or better than it was before this time.
Right. Now, when you went off on the bit of history, which I'm certain that most people would appreciate the history that you shared and how it transpired, or even how it was, let me say, interpreted by some, all right, with the act of gerrymandering by the NDP back then. You know what I got from it, Sian?
No, I don't know what you got from it.
Well, now I'm going to share. What I got is, you make it seem as if the present government, they themselves intentionally is on a path to commit the act of gerrymandering themselves. So it's as if what my interpretation, and you're not responsible for my interpretation. You're responsible for what you shared, right? But my interpretation of what you shared is that if it was okay for the NDP to go ahead and, well, to commit gerrymandering back then, it should also be okay for the ULP in government now to go ahead with a bit of gerrymandering of their own presently.
And while I'm not responsible for your interpretation, I'm going to ask you, on what basis have you concluded?
I'm just saying the way I did
explain the fact that the houses are being, the reason why they're not is that the houses are being repaired.
But the way in which
I also mentioned Fuji, that you saw how this gerrymandering was done.
Right.
There is
but isn't it the same way that we're seeing what is happening? We're seeing the intention, the way in which things are being done.
The point I'm making, which I hope you would have gotten, but you didn't, is that there is no attempt at gerrymandering here.
And that's your conclusion.
Because absolutely, because if the government wants to do any kind of quote unquote gerrymandering, there are constituencies there with 7,000 and 8,000 electors that they could cut up.
And maybe the focus has always been to create history down in the southern Grenadines. How do you explain? And as simple as it is, right? How do you explain even the simple act of removing the chief radiographer from her position, her vital position within the Ministry of Health, removing her from that position, who at the same time is the selected candidate to represent the government. How do you explain removing her from that qualified position, right, to basically distributing lumber and galvanized and all the sorts for the same Southern Grenadines?
I can say this. One, the chief radiographer who is no longer there is replaced by someone who's
until December. Why?
Who's capable and qualified? So there is not a shortage of expertise in that area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so the fact that someone is moved, but the position
temporarily for what reason?
But you just said why? And to me, if the radiographer chooses to put herself up in this position, you're telling her she can't because she's a radiographer. I mean,
why it wasn't done? Why it wasn't done since July last year?
Do you know we had one ENT specialist in Vincent who was removed to run? I mean,
no.
That's the point I'm making in Fuji. Because there was no information, because there was no Fuji. In 1998, when Sinclair Thomas was removed as the only ENT specialist we had to run for the NDP, there was no Fuji to come and say, but we only have one ENT specialist in Sinclair Thomas. Why wait to him to run?
Why? Coincidentally, the same person who is responsible for distributing rebuilding materials in the Southern Grenadines is the same person who has been selected to run as a candidate for the government in the Southern Grenadines. It is conflicting. It is conflicting. We mean how I just explained it.
I'm asking because we had for many years Jerry Scott, man who was in charge.
You going back in history, but I mean we're talking present day. So we should.
Apparently, going back is only relevant when it suits your purpose.
You see, you're basically walking into the point that I am making, and what you're saying, it was okay. It was okay for NDP to do it back then. So all you're saying, it should be all right. It should be accepted.
There's nothing wrong with it, Fuji. That's the point. So it's okay. We got left. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying to you that these are things that were done, and nobody batted an eye, and it wasn't a problem. It only is a problem now.
So.
That the Europeans doing
we should be doing better. We should be doing better. We should be encouraged.
Better than what, Fuji? Better than allowing a young lady who wants to represent a constituency to run?
That is not it. That is not it. The way in which it is being done. The way in which it is being done is questionable. It is questionable.
No. And you know something, Fuji? And that is the point I was making last week.
What is that?
It's good that people are asking questions.
Right, okay. All right.
This government functions in a manner of openness and transparency. You could ask questions on the station.
Openness and transparency. Listen,
questions, and that's good. That's good, Fuji.
All right, but anyway, we're gonna have to wrap it up tomorrow.
You will get the answers, Fuji.
Tomorrow.
Whether you get the answer or not, it's up to you. But you get the answers to the questions.
Tomorrow. All right. Okay then. Take it easy. Thank you. All right then. Good. Let me see. We got time? No, we don't have any time. We're gonna go. Let me see. Okay, Council is backstage. We're gonna bring Council forward right away. We good? You're gonna go ahead, ready? Okay.
Plain talk. Plain talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on OMG.
All right then. Good. It's 7:45 in the morning, which Council is on the inside with us. Brother Jumo, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Morning.
Welcome. It's been a while, but welcome.
Yes, it's good to see you again, Fuji. Look, since last week I had something to talk about, but each time it's getting thrown. But I don't mind. I consider C.N. Marshall to be a friend, and I hope that we would continue to be friends, colleagues, acquaintances.
C.N. don't carry feelings.
But what he said this morning is not surprising, but it's shocking.
It is.
And Fuji, you nailed it. when you said, so because the NDP did something 30 years ago, are you saying that we are justified to do it today? And the reason why I want to talk about this, because I have been one of the voices that have been insisting that what the ULP is trying to do is to steal the Southern Grenadines constituency.
It is as
and I maintain that.
As clear as day.
I maintain that. Look, I have heard Prime Minister Gonzalez talk about the issue, what is happening in the Southern Grenadines. I have heard Supervisor of Election Dora James talk about it. And I excuse Ms. James because, as Ms. James said in a recent press conference, she's not a lawyer. But the Prime Minister is a lawyer of some note, although he is now morphed into a legal ideologue. So he's no longer concerned with the law. They know that on the issue of the Southern Grenadines and the way in which voting should take place there, it is not just, he knows that it is not just the Representation of the People's Act that comes into play. It is the Constitution, the fact that you had an emergency that moved people out of that area, and all arrangements should be made to ensure that people can vote, even if they're not there, without any kind of difficulty. My friend C.N. Marshall said that gerrymandering, I want to quote him, he said, it is not a negative term. It is a legitimate term. It is a negative term. Gerrymandering means, and I don't know if he understands the origin of it, but it came out of the United States after a man called gerrymander. But gerrymandering in essence means to give yourself an unfair advantage. That is what it means. To give yourself an unfair advantage. So if you're trying to give yourself an unfair advantage, as the NDP did, when it split the Southern Grenadines into two, that's wrong then. And what is happening now is equally wrong. There are issues having to do with the Boundaries Commission and how the constituencies are to be structured statistically. Mitchell should not have been allowed to do what he did in the Southern Grenadines, and Gonzalez and his clansmen should not be allowed to do what they're doing now. And this is why I've advocated to go to the court. And Cian is right. Because if election, the morning after election, the ULP happen to steal that vote, that seat by one vote, then is when them and their supporters gonna make all kind of noise about ULP stealing the elections. When they could have gone to court, and I'm sure a court would have said, based on the fact that there was an emergency in keeping, and is as defined by Section 17 of the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that what they did was to frustrate the vote in some ways, which makes that vote illegitimate. That has been my argument from the get-go. So this is not no anti-ULP, because Mitchell did something wrong and the NDP did something wrong in 1989, and Gonzalez is about to do something wrong now. So the things that come into focus here is not just the Representation of the People's Act, it's the Constitution and the Boundaries Commission. And when you do an analysis of all of them, you must conclude that what they're doing now is wrong. And that's what a court would do. So that's there. CN makes an analysis that Mitchell gerrymandered the East Kingstown seat. And as a consequence of that, the NDP is impregnable in East Kingstown. The ULP's misactions has caused the NDP to be impregnable in East Kingstown, and it caused the NDP to impregnable in South Leeward. ULP's misaction. And I wouldn't go into what the misactions in South Leeward. But When Michael Hamlet ran, lost that what by not about 26 votes or something like that, or 40 votes. So how was that an impregnable NDP seat? They had done the cut then already. When Julian ran in 2005, I think he lost by 163 votes. But if Prime Minister Gonzalez was not the coward, a political coward, had he left his seat after winning 12-3 in 2001, had he left his seat in 2005, having lived in French's for so long, there's a real chance that he could have won East Kingston, but he was too much of a political coward to do it. Because remember, in 2001, the NDP won the seat by less than 50 votes. So this analysis about NDP making East Kingston through gerrymandering impregnable is not true. Sian knows it's not true, but he's making an argument to make a larger point, to justify what the ULP is doing in the Southern Grenadines. Now, he makes a legitimate argument that a lot of things that are in focus now were not in focus in 1989 because we had one station. True. But it was the same NDP administration, because of the process of liberalization, media liberalization across the region, that allowed for all the religious stations we have now. He says that there was only the Radio 705 that NDP monopolized, but it's the same national broadcasting radio that ULP monopolizes now. So I'm not sure when we come to make these arguments, how I didn't get the name. I don't know if he was saying Sinclair Thomas was the only ENT doctor in St. Vincent, and he ran. I mean, CN is pulling things out of his ears, because the question that has been properly posed regarding Miss Stewart is not that she was the only or senior radiographer. The question that's being posed is that she's the senior radiographer. She is seconded from the Ministry of Health to the Ministry of Housing, so that she can be the face of all of the distribution that the ULP is doing in the Southern Grenadines. How could that analysis, how could that be the same as Mr. Thomas deciding to run for the NDP back then? That's totally, it's not analogous at all, because he made that decision to run. And the fundamental question here is that nobody has questioned Ms. Stewart's decision to run. That's for her to make.
Nope.
The point is what is happening now that she was chosen to run. She's now made the face of ULP's distribution in the Southern Grenadines. So, resources that belong to the state, she gives it out with the hope that people would be silly enough to think, well, as Ms. Stewart give me a sling of cement. But all people have long, what happened in 1989 is not going to happen in 2000. It's not going to happen in 2025, because it's a different period. But to come on here to justify this whole notion is improper, and my friend Sian knows better. One other correction, he says that the NDP was formed in 1979. NDP was not formed in 1979. NDP was formed in 1975. So, you see, what we lack in St. Vincent, what we lack is political hygiene. We don't have political hygiene. Once it's our party doing it, we will do all kinds of gymnastics to justify why it is proper. And I tell you, you see, all the NDP people I'm not seeing it, but I am sure that there are a number of people on here who may be trashing Sian, and maybe properly so for what he just said. But next year, Fuji, they might kill you because they think you say something that is not in keeping with their government that is now in power.
Oh yeah.
Watch out.
Oh yeah.
Because we do not have political hygiene. And I've made the point time and time and time again. NDP was formed in 1975. ULP was formed in 1994. So these are creatures, rather modern creatures. Our parents, at least my parents, Fuji, because you seem to be still a spring chicken.
Yes, I am.
Grew up with PPP and St. Vincent Labour Party. They grew up with Joshua and Cato. Who talks about Joshua and Cato today? Nobody, except for the ULP, may be trying to resurrect Cato by making him a national hero, which he's not deserving of. The same point is made. Who talks about Arthur Williams today? I remember as a youth struggling with ULIM on UPM. It's King Arthur we used to call him and talk about how undemocratic and how. Who talks about Grafton Isaacs? Who talks about Vincent Beach, who was instrumental in Prime Minister Gonzalez emerging? He died a few years ago. My point is that we have to stop thinking about individuals and political parties and think about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What helps us to go forward? What helps us to advance? Not because, oh, my party might be in power and I might get some mammon. No. I might get some money. No, we cannot do that because we are selling our future, our children and those yet unborn when we do what we are doing. That's all. And I don't know however else to say this. But please, people, please put St. Vincent ahead of everything else. I really wish, you know, one of my biggest wish is that we could get some kind of funding someplace. So we could have what, like when I used to be in the States, I used to work at Medgar Evers College. And even before I started teaching at the college, I used to work in, they had a center called the Center for Law and Social Justice. It was headed by a brilliant Panamanian sister called Esmeralda Simmons. And what did the Center for Law and Social Justice did? It intervened on legal matters. And it brought cases that resulted in putting a searchlight, putting a spotlight on legal issues. So you see, like when Mitchell did what he did back in 1989, there could have been a case that showed that what you were doing was wrong. You see, like what ULP doing now? So you take it out of the realm of partisan politics.
Mm-hmm. That part is critical, huh?
You know, you take it out of the realm of partisan politics, and these people are guardians of the Constitution, guardians of our democracy. So you see, when the ULP have all of these warrants that they're not bringing to court, I mean, that they're not bringing to Parliament, it's doing all these warrants for hundreds of millions of dollars and not bringing it. You have a constitutional question. See, like when they have the draft, the no reconciliation between what's happening at the bank and what's happening at the accountant general, you bring a matter in court that where the court can say what you're doing here is not in keeping with good governance, it's not in keeping with democratic best practices. That's what we need. Not for us to be jumping around like hyenas because our party is doing this or justifying. I mean, you know, I'm reading this small text by George Lamin. I'm rereading it actually, and Lamin talks about he was talking about Barbados, and he says, you know, he was doing a broader context Caribbean, but he gave an example in Barbados. He says there are a lot of people, the budget comes out, number of economists whom he called economic mercenaries come to justify this or that position. We can't justify it because it needs to be justified. Chomsky said the role of the intellectual is to tell the truth, to challenge the status quo, not to support it, not to give it scuffling. No. That's my take for this morning.
Thank you, my brother. All the best until tomorrow.
Until we meet again.
All right, then. Take care. Council Jomo Thomas inside with us in the morning time. It's 8 o'clock. Let's do this, and we come right back.
Vinci, feel that power. The road is calling.
Oh, let me make some noise right now.
We're talking Rise Soca. The energy that lifts you. The sound that moves the crowd.
Only you alone can put fire back in the city.
This is Road Ready. Get every Fed update, every essential track, every vibe you need for the Bacchanal right here. Boomsy Nass is live. Get Road Ready with the undisputed source for the streets. Only on Boom 106.9. Don't just hear the Fed, be the Fed.
OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 106.9.
Winding up in a swimsuit tongue. Call me a seasoned veteran from day one inception. All when me broke waistline, me a walk in a dance, bend over with me bumper cock up. And me worst behavior, I shout out. I wore not too skinny, but me fabulous. It's trouble. Bring a bottle. Casamigos on the road. It's trouble. Bring a bottle. Casamigos on the road. Costume fit right on me. We don't use hydroxy. My friends best and sexy. No boy can try style we. Cause it's trouble. Shots of Casamigos. Bring your syrup bottles. We on the road, we on the road. It's trouble. Bring a bottle. Casamigos on the road. It's trouble. Bring a bottle. Casamigos on the road. On the road, my friends and I. No man stress, yeah, things just nice. Pump shots and body sets right. Costumes and drinks all night. All when we broke waistline, me a walk in a dance, bend over with me bumper cock up. And me worst behavior, I shout out. I wore not too skinny, but me fabulous. It's trouble. Bring a bottle. Casamigos on the road. It's trouble. Bring a bottle. Casamigos.
This is how we just do it. Last night wasn't your last night, but today.
I know some of you are anxious and eager to go inside, but when we come back, let's get one or two.
Today.
We read some scripts and then we go in for a little bit. You call me.
Yesterday.
Whether via WhatsApp
today.
Or via the direct line, hit me up and let me know. We going in.
So let me commemorate this date. Yeah. And let me do this one big, gigantic, bombastic. Let me do this big, real.
Hold on, caller. Hold on. I'll let you know when to go. I'll show that is Hamo. Hold on, Hamo, hold on. Truth seeker, hold on. All you hold on. I know all you anxious. Hold on. Okay, let me run a few of these. And then we go in. I know, sorry. Get up to $1,000 in rewards when you sign up for a postpaid mobile plan bundled with internet. Then build your carnival pack with smartphones, show tickets, Monday band packs, groceries, gas, and more. That's not a chance to win. That's a guaranteed reward just for being a Flow customer. Switch to Flow now. All right, let's do one more. Well, no, actually, two more. Remember, ready to upgrade your TV, refrigerator, or your bedroom? We've got you. Buy more and save more on bedroom sets. Get an additional 10% off when you purchase any bedroom set on credit at Quartz. Gift with purchase. Shop today and pay later. Make your first payment in 30 days. Get more flexibility by choosing your payment terms. More affordability with low monthly payments. And more access with fast and easy application. Shop and save. It's happening at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. And there's one more. Hold on. I gotta get it. Okay, here's one more. Join the Rotary Club and Island-wide Fitness for the first ever Glow Run. It's happening this Saturday. Yeah, this Saturday, June 14th at the cruise ship terminal. The health fair starts at 4 p.m. and the 10K Glow Run kicks off at 6. It's not just a run, it's a movement against childhood obesity. Let's light up the night for a cause. Yeah, let's go. Let's light up the telephone lines right now. It was okay for the NDP to gerrymander back in 1984-ish, 1989-ish. So that makes it okay for the ULP to have an attempt at gerrymandering in 2025. Take it away. What are your views on it? Hit us up and let us know. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Fuji.
My brother, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Shady.
Morning.
Yes. Fuji, if you permit me, I just wanted to respond to Sion Marshall.
As quick and precise as possible.
Yes, but before I do that, let me just do like a soft correction to something that Councillor said. The term gerrymandering did not come from someone with the last name gerrymander. The term gerrymandering is actually a combination of two words named after the governor of Massachusetts in 1812. His name was L.G. Gerry. And in an attempt to secure one of the senatorial seats then, he redrew the congressional map. And what ended up was a district in the shape of a salamander. And so one of the newspapers actually coined the term Gerry for L.G. Gerry and Mander for salamander. And so that's where the whole term came about. And since then, the definition of the word has expanded from just redrawing maps into moving people and other actions, all right? I just wanted to put that out there. But
thank you. We appreciate that as well.
What I noticed that Sion is engaging in consistently in social political terms is known as whataboutism. You present a question to him, and instead of directly answering the question, he would go back and say, so what about the NDP did this?
Yeah. So that makes it okay to happen presently.
Exactly. But he is also being intellectually dishonest in a sense that he's comparing back then to now, and he's saying that there were no pushback on about some of the actions that were taken by the end. For example, I think he mentioned Jerry Scott. Is he then tacitly acknowledging that the opposition then was weak? Because there was an opposition at the time. They could have pushed back. They could have pushed back vociferously. They could have pushed back hard. They could have gone directly to the people. Now, bear in mind, also, I think Jomo also touched on something very important that Sion seems to be leaving out of the discourse, that the level of technology at the time was much less and much less available than today. We are living in technological age where information is almost immediately available to people, and people can react almost instantaneously to governmental or other actions. So come on, Sion. I mean, we can see through what you're trying to do. And to say that to explain away the transfer of the young lady from the hospital to say that, well, she made a personal decision to run. I mean, we are not talking about her candidacy.
I
We
mean,
are
that could
talking
have been
about
done
the timing of
walking
the
in the same.
move.
Exactly, it is. That could have running, deciding that you want to run for politics could be done in whatever position you're walking in. What was
And
the,
why
what was the
wasn't it
purpose of
done before
moving?
her candidacy
All right
was
then.
announced?
Okay.
You know, and as I said before, there was another person who I believe, objectively speaking, was more qualified to do that work that she is doing now. And I'm talking about Abdan White,
You mean as
who has
being selected
experience
as
in
the candidate?
geoinformatics and had worked for Nemo before. So this is our politics. Come on, Fiam. Come on, man.
All right then, my buddy.
Yeah, and you know who talking.
Yeah.
Blessings, man.
All right then. Thank you. All right then. Good. Who else want to get inside? 455-1069 or 451-1069. It was okay for the NDP to do it back then, so it should be okay for the ULP to go ahead and do it now. What are your views on it? Hit us up and let us know. Good morning.
Good morning, Fuji. How are you doing?
Good morning. Not too bad. Blessed and highly favored.
That's wonderful.
Right. What's good? How you doing?
I am doing funny.
Man, I thought you went missing in action for a little bit. What happened?
I'm still around.
Right.
Sometimes it is extremely difficult to get run this program. Okay. I just want to weigh in a little bit on the current discussion. One is well, council really spelled it out well enough on the last call of it in the case of Chevron's candidacy and the fact that she has been transferred to give a favor in the sight of the electorate in the Southern Grenadines. The question one must ask is that if the election, when the election calls tomorrow, no, not literally tomorrow, but let us say that the NDP wins. If the NDP decides to remember now that public servants can go back to their position, right? Her substantive position will be that of what is the position she now has in that ministry?
I don't even know if it's a title, but I could give you the details.
The thing is, if the NDP decides to leave her there,
all right,
would people say that she has been victimized?
Okay.
Because for certain, she will not like that position under that any arrangement, except the arrangement she has now.
Well, you see, the thing is, technically it was crafted, because this position, it actually says it goes up until December of 2025. So,
my dear friend, you can always extend that.
No, okay.
Don't forget that. Just like how you send a memo to create the position, if so, you could extend the position.
All right.
It can be done. Okay. The other thing is this. Now, we often will say, and Candyman and Cian and all of them would say that there is nothing hanky-panky going on, or you're not looking for advantage. But the thing is this. Why you have left the Southern Grenadines, I mean, basic things that we have been looking for all through the years. You have not flinched on any. And all of a sudden, you're telling me if I rebuild a house, and this is government. It has nothing to do with the party. This is government. The taxpayer's dollar or the tax effort, and you want to gain an unfair advantage. Look at all the other things, that services that you should be providing for the Grenadines. If you are in Union Island today and you want a birth paper, you have to come to Kingstown. If you don't have a close relative, you have to stay in a hotel. So just to take out a birth certificate from Union Island, it can easily cost you upwards to $500 easily. And you're not seeing these things. If you are going to the Southern Grenadines today, you are being searched like a common criminal. Nobody can explain to me why I have to be subjected to a police search as I move from one place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the other. But what is even worse is that where they are searching you on the boat, the officers who have to do the search don't even have any accommodation to do it. When you look at the environs where the boat is being moored, oh my goodness, me want to vomit. Nobody sees these things.
You see, the thing is, it is evident that they are going at, listen, they're stopping at nothing to abuse the current situation that exists.
It is. It's
right
true.
now. It is evident, and it can't go on. Like you said, there's so many other things that can be done, that can be focused on in Southern Grenadines. I am thinking one of the main focus going in there for Chevron would have been healthcare in whole capacity as chief radiographer. I am certain that I am thinking that should have been, or that would have been the primary focus, and that would have been the driving force behind whole campaign. But now it's being boiled down to this, as disrespectful as it might sound, to distributing lumber, galvanized cement, and
yes, just to rebuild the houses.
Come on.
But you know, it's interesting that you raised that, because now this Candyman comes up last week when he was on. He started asking, what has Terrence done? For heaven's sake, if you are in government and you have to ask the opposition to dip their hands in their pocket, to do work in a constituency, then it means that you have absolutely nothing to do with government.
Right,
you should play the cover.
All right, then,
okay?
Thank you.
All right, you can.
All right. We got some commercials coming up. We quick and deadly. Listen, it's all about getting you ready for the road. Vincy Mass in full effect. We're going to be ensuring that you are road ready. All the events, all the fests, all the happenings, VIP passes, the interviews, all. We have them all right here. Boom 1069. Make sure that you are always tuned in. We missed that one. No problem. We got more. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Welcome.
I want to call on the Prime Minister of this country, as Vincent Transit, to make this thing right. That nobody won't have to speculate, suspicious, do this and do that. The Prime Minister of this country is working for Vincent. I want the Prime Minister to have a press conference and make it clear to the nation that the workers and them that they hired to go down to the Grenadines, they're not resident of the Grenadines. They will not be able to vote.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
They will not be able to vote down there, and the people of the Grenadines will displaced because of the storm and end up on the mainland and wherever have you will be able to vote wherever it is now for the people in the Grenadines. That is what I'm calling for.
No, you're calling on the Prime Minister, you're calling on the government. In all fairness, all fairness, and let us be fair with it, that is where the opposition comes in, because wherever the government falls short, wherever the government is not representing or giving proper representation, the opposition should step forward. You understand? And at least do what needs to be done to address these concerns. These aren't trivial. But wait, hold on. The thing is, we've heard from the opposition that they've met with the supervisor of elections and they are awaiting her response in terms of what will be done. Me personally, that is weeks ago. I think we're waiting too long, and we might end up waiting until the morning after elections when what is to be done is done, and we're going to fight petitions again.
Thank you. I agree with that. But let me say this before I go, because I know other people want to call.
Go ahead.
The Prime Minister, when he wants to do things, he don't care if he have the support, if the opposition they are not. I am calling on the Prime Minister to go to a conference and let us know, let the nation know there is no hanky-panky, there is nothing from 1970 going on.
I'm going to be realistic with it. We ain't going to get that.
Well, we will have to do something. Then we will do something.
Okay. Thank you very much, my brother. That's where the opposition comes in. And I am hoping that sooner rather than later, the opposition step up to the plate. Yes, I'm not saying that they've become complacent. Some people saying, oh, they're lazy because how. Listen, I ain't going down that road. What I'm saying is that I am thinking that they need to be more active. People need to know what exactly. It is frustrating the process, you know. It is frustrating the process. People need to know where we at, what is happening, what is expected. Yes, we are waiting the response from the supervisor of elections. That means what? How long do we intend to wait on that response? We go into general elections without the response. That leaves us where? Another petition? We have petitions from since in 2015 that we're still waiting to be heard. 2015 and then 2020. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, welcome.
Well, for the umpteenth time.
Max, hold on, Max. Go ahead, Carla, sorry.
For the umpteenth time, I've heard Jomo urge the opposition to take this to court.
That's another option.
I would tell you something. I was on a beach yesterday. A group of us
Kingston Beach, because we saw the phone footage.
Wait. Let me get serious, man.
Right. Go ahead.
There was a judge among us. A judge, and you know, with the profession, you don't want to get in certain conversation. So instead of getting into the conversation, the judge asks us a question. The judge said, where is Union Island Secondary School right now? Somebody in the audience said, it's in Annisville. The judge said, you know what that is called in the court? It's called precedence. So anybody in this country who is serious about winning an election and don't want to use that precedence in court to fix it now is a fool.
But John, we're in a serious place, you know.
You know what the judge is saying there? And he ended the discussion. The judge is saying there is precedence right now. The fact that the government had to put a school on the mainland for Union Island is the same reason and the same precedence they need to put a polling station. Now imagine if the opposition take up that case and that case end up in front of that said judge. What do you think happens? Come on! And people get upset when you say the opposition not doing enough.
I get you.
Come on! And that caller who just called just now and said that the people must vote. What he wants to go against our constitution and our laws. The people have been down there for a year. July 1st coming would be a year since burial.
Yep.
They are entitled to register and vote down there. What the opposition need to do is to fight for a polling station on the mainland for the people who are up here to cast their vote for Southern Grenadines. And my people, if you don't think that's what needs to be done, I will hear from you the morning after the election. When it's 8-7.
All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Let me see where we at. Let me see. One more quick. One more. All right, so nobody there. Max, if you want to get in, you might want to do so now. Let me read some scripts all the time. Let me pull up this one. BC Entertainment. Good morning to the folks out there at BC Entertainment. Let me take this one quickly. Good morning.
Fuji.
Morning.
Good morning. How you doing, man?
Not too bad.
Yes.
All right. How you doing?
I am fair to find the few scattered showers.
All right then. Good.
And it's hard.
Right.
Yeah, we see the people who are up on the mainland from the Southern Grenadines need to have some assurances as to what is happening.
Yeah.
Because what you can find happening is that some of them, if they're not sure, might go and transfer their membership or their voting register in the constituency they're currently living in.
Yep. There are those who might just not vote at all because it's too frustrating.
Exactly. To get down to union and all that. So the opposition needs to move now. We don't want to wait until the day after the election to hear that we fight the petition. That's too late. That's too late.
Yep.
Do it now. Do it now. Get it done now, so people can be assured that this is what is going to happen.
Yep. All right, everybody.
Yeah, blessings.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, Max, ready, Max. Sorry, I had you there holding over and over. Come through, Max. Let's go. BC Entertainment offers virtual reality educational services to institutions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Programs include... Hold on. The girl came in and kicked it out. Good morning.
Morning, King, and to an extension, morning, St. Vincent and
welcome.
Everybody had a nice, refreshing holiday yesterday. Well, yesterday being the Fisherman Day.
Yeah, it was Fisherman Day, and they had a massive crowd out in Calico. So big up the fisher folk community.
Well, big them up because the fisher folk is one of the pillars of our economy, and we can't leave them because fish full of good nutrition, and fish is what keep the old people of them in St. Vincent healthy and agile. When me come on my back lean and my face full of grey hair, black people them look, the old people them look nice. So big up the fisherman and them. Now, to the Grenadines people and the opposition, yes, the opposition could do more. But the people of the Grenadines is not the opposition alone, constitution getting violated. If 20 people from Southern Grenadines go to the necessary office and say, hey, we want some answers, we are going to have come election because our constitutional right is that. Fuji alone can't talk, Max alone can't talk, because a matter of fact, you treat it like a boat ride, treat it like an NDP boat ride, because just come from here, there, and everywhere and go on the boat ride. So treat all the constitution like the boat ride. Far too long, yes, I'm not giving the opposition party, NDP, an excuse, They say they're doing what they're doing. They tell us what they're doing, but guess what? The culture of us doing what we're doing is waiting last minute and ball. That is our culture. That is Vincentian culture for you. Because
another petition.
Yes, and that is our culture. We need to get a paradigm shift with that mentality. A lot of us say we're doing. And when time comes for it to be done, you're still doing. And when last minute come, now we rush. And the thing not finished properly.
I mean, you see, before you go on there, Max, the scary part about this, we here waiting, and at the same time we're saying, comrade, ring the bell. You understand what I'm saying? So what if the comrade decide that he going to ring the bell now? We have what, 28 days? Do you think we have enough time to go court and fix all this?
Fix all, no, we should have done, like we council say, we should have done, have a court case right now, but beyond the court case, the people could go and demand answers because they're working for us, not them. Now we're working for them. The people of the Southern Grenada need to go to the appropriate office and say, okay, we need some answers. How school going to keep when election come? Come. Me want to hear from all you. And we not just want to hear talk. Give you a letter explaining because we do it. Me want a letter explain A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because we can read, we can understand how your political lingo. Because the English language was willfully forced on us so they could use certain words and tell us apple when now we really realize it's apple, but it's a different kind of apple. You understand me I say?
I get you, everybody.
That's why you see. But yeah, man, go and do your thing. You hear me?
All right, bless up. Enough respect. All right, then, let's go again. Let's go. Hold on the calls. Let's go pay some bills. And we come right back. BC Entertainment offers virtual reality educational services to institutions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Programs include virtual labs, field trips, and interactive training modules. Career-focused CTE courses are available in nurse assisting, crime scene investigation, medical assisting, carpentry and welding, robotics, drone operation, veterinary assisting, agricultural technology, among others. Customized lesson plans are also available. For more information, contact BC Entertainment at 784-494-4.
Let's go! Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no money back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we telling now. Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 1069.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. it's all about you.
For that.
For 40 years, we've refined the rhythm of beer, mastering the balance of bold and smooth, crafting flavors that echo through SVG. Between the limes and the laughter, we've carried our expertise across the Caribbean, one brew at a time, perfecting the process, deepening the craft, learning what makes beer not just tasted, but felt. And now, with all that we've learned, we bring you what's next. The next wave of refreshment, the next chapter in our story, the next taste to define a generation, not just another drink. This is the extension of who we are, the next experience, the next icon, imagined and brewed right here at home. It's not just what's next for us, it's what's next for you. It's what's beyond expectations. Own it, define it, make your mark. High Rune next. This is the extension of passion, of possibility. High Rune next. The future of beer. Made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the hands that have mastered the craft for 40 years.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I am back on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride. Not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips. Beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast, and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
For that.
Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no money back calling me splurge. Watch me jump right off the curb.
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we're telling now. Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 1069.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
SVG. OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 1069.
Because of that you did the same. Now I can't take it no longer.
I don't want you to waste mine. No more. Forgiveness is all I need. Our selfishness we must proceed. As time go by, it's getting harder. Baby, my mind is all made up. I'll keep begging, I'll never stop. You all I want, don't need no other. So I'm ready, ready without distraction. Waiting for your reaction. Ready to give it all, oh, baby, I'm ready. Ready for your reaction. Waiting for this salvation. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't wanna waste your time, baby, and I don't want you to waste mine. So let me know. I don't wanna waste your time, baby, and I don't want you to waste mine. 'Cause I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste mine anymore. I don't want to waste your time, girl, and I don't want you to waste mine.
Girl, I want the small steps. All them gyal and them, they came for the big stick. All them gyal and them, they came for the big stick. Girl, I want big stick. Them gyal nowadays want big stick. Them gyal want big stick. Them gyal nowadays want big stick. Them gyal want big stick. Them gyal nowadays want big stick. Them gyal want the small stick. Them gyal now want the small stick. Them gyal want all them gyal and them, they came for the big stick. All them gyal and them, they came for the big stick. All them gyal and them, they came for the big stick. All them gyal and them, they came for the big stick. Keisha Wadi, big stick. Stacy Wadi, big stick. Tracy Wadi, big stick. Amisha Wadi, Whitney Wadi, big stick. Tisha Wadi, big stick. Marissa Wadi, big stick. Asha Wadi, big stick.
Haters, haters. It's so they love talk, them fetting haters, haters. They love to run up them out, them fetting haters, haters. Think they know everything, but they don't know nothing, them fetting haters, haters. Them dirty fetting haters. Hi hater. Nah, I do business. If you don't like me, you don't rate problem, you don't rate me. But come see who you rate, don't make me laugh.
We got about 17 minutes away from 9 o'clock. We go back on the inside and we wrap it up at 9 o'clock because inside 9, we switching gears. Yeah?
Check it out. Mix up the rum with the ginseng. Now I feel like horning. Looking for a thing to Lincoln. We go until morning. Mix up the rum with the Red Bull. Now I feel like horning. Looking for a thing to Lincoln. We go until morning. I feel like horning. I feel like horning. I said I feel like horning. I feel like horning. I feel like horning. I feel like horning.
I say my traits them toxic. I have ways that I can't fix. Actually English is a bad. I try to be a good girl but I can't switch. I just tell you them things is a bonus. Cause when we on the road it's a purpose. Rum and wine, beg and wine. Me out, jam me out. You love bum in the scene hour. 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 You love bum in the scene hour.
Girl, bounce back like I mean something to you. Touch your body like I mean something to you. Bounce back like I mean something to you. Touch the kitty like I mean something to you. Clockwise, close eyes, concentrate. I wanna feel your body heat when you vibrate. Clockwise, close eyes, concentrate. I wanna feel your body heat when you vibrate. I know you're feeling the vibes, come the lava. You don't want them, you want cassava. Put some emotion in your heart now. You just want jam, jam, jam. I wanna take you out your ball, no. Tell you I'm feeling your ball. I like romance, but you like joke all night. Girl, I want to get to know you.
You love bum in the scene hour. 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 You love bum in the scene hour.
I when the bartender just pass the rum, I make a drink all day to the party done. Now I'ma build some pay, I can start to jump. And so much girls in my sight, alcoholic bunk. She did a wait all day for the mass to come and she bumper. Look like 40 bunk, she hear the rhythm and the beat and she start to bounce. I pull she close and start the song. How long I did hoping just to get a piece of wine. All the time you're on me mind. Love how you roll that thing behind. No joke thing. Hope you read between the lines. See the signs in Nashi eyes. She willing to give it up. Gosh, bad things. Take a wine and take a dance. Bad things. girl, the wine you give that don't small. It's just vibe in the session, and your wine is depression. And when they talk about fat, is my name you mention. Boy, fetting on it,
Speaking about fets, speaking about fetting. Remember, Boom 1069, we are getting you road ready for the ultimate fan experience this carnival season. We got the fets, we got the vibe, we got the giveaways, we got the interviews, we got the concert series. Listen, Boom Simas in full effect right now. Listen, Rise Soca is coming Wednesday, July 9th. You need to be ready. Go on out, start securing those tickets, get your outfits and all them nice things ready. Rise Soca Victoria Park, Wednesday, July 9th, will feature Kess, the band, Full Blown, out of Trinidad, and so much more. Boom 1069, we're on board. I love rum. I'm certain that is evident. Hey, that event is happening July 1st. All right? Be ready. Be ready. At the cruise ship terminal, it goes down July 1st. I love rum. Good. Now that we have that out of the way. You know, there's so many things that are like flowing through my brains right now. And it makes you wonder. And you can't help but to wonder. Now, hear me out for a little bit. Yes. You reside in a particular community, a particular village, a particular constituency for, according to what is being provided by law, you could reside there for at least 6 months. If you decide that you want to stay there, and remember I said reside, you live in there, reside for at least 6 months, and you decide, you know what, I want to transfer because it ain't make sense going back all the way up inside there. Let me just stay here, do a transfer early, and I go ahead and I vote in the constituency that I've been residing in for the past 6 months. All right, or by that time it will be 6 months. I would have already gone past the 6 months deadline. So let me go ahead and register now. The law provides for that. Temporarily residing or temporarily working. Temporarily working. Should we consider it the same thing? Is it the same thing? I mean, yes, you're residing there temporarily with the intention that when the work is finished, you're going back home. What happens then? I'm just asking. What happens then? So you're temporarily working in an area. Why are we encouraging persons because they're temporarily working in a particular constituency to go ahead and transfer so that they could vote in that constituency? Why? There's something that is amiss about it. Something not sitting right about it. We have hundreds of intentions who, whether they work in whichever part of the Grenadines, and they've been doing so for years. They've been doing that for years. Yes, the law provides they could do it if they want to, but they're not being pushed. They're not being encouraged to do so. But they reside there, they work there, but most of them, when election time come around, they come up onto the mainland and they vote in wherever they're living. Nobody forcing them to do anything. Nobody encouraging them to do anything. That's of their own free will. But they're residing there, they're working there permanently, not temporarily. And they've been doing that for years. Decades in some parts. But whenever an election is called, they come up to the mainland and they vote. So what's different now? Why are we encouraging persons? Because of a natural disaster, they're part of the rebuilding efforts that are ongoing. That seems to be dragging out for a particular reason, you might wonder. Why is it so important that we encourage these group of persons, these group of institutions? Why is it so important for us to be encouraging them that, oh, you know what, you could stay down there and you could vote down there? Why is that important? Something just not right and you can't... Let me take some calls. Hold on. Wait, that one came in too fast. Good morning, caller.
UJ.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Morning, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
Morning, I good now. Well, me strong this morning, and I mean, I don't drink some peanut and plantain and pumpkin porridge or so, you know.
Did you say plantain?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You get plantain.
Listen to me. I'm not gonna plantain from the truck. Eh?
So what's wrong? What's wrong if you get plantain from the truck, Kenson?
Well, me just tell you, I'm not gonna plantain from the truck. I'm not gonna plantain from the depot. I'm gonna plantain from the fields. Fields where you got so much plantain a fall on because you can't get them sell. You know how to market.
I got a bunch of plantain a couple of weeks ago. It done, you know. Listen, my daughter love a plantain, and once she eating plantain, the cats eating plantain, her puppy eating plantain, the dogs eating plantain, because she will provide for all of them. Plantain alone.
Well, there you go. So you know, right now we have a planting glut in St. Vincent. So you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
All right. So what's up?
No, I listened to Sian this morning, and he has sparked something. Listen, I sometimes wonder if these people think and understand that not everybody who they come out here to speak to are their pundits. Yeah? Are people who are not thinking. Now, let me just start with the gerrymandering part. This man really want to talk gerrymandering. He forget that right up in North Windward up there, so. Yeah? That North Windward and North Central, their boundaries were changed under which government?
Okay.
And by who?
All right.
Eh? We know that north of the country starts at Dry River. Yeah? That is something we know, but many people don't know that the boundary between the two places has been changed and brought right down into Georgetown. Yeah? Brought right down into Georgetown. Orly. And why did he think that happened? Yeah? So when you want to talk gerrymandering,
it happened because Mitchell did it before and got away with it. So
and that right there alone goes to show you that people like Sian are not for St. Vincent. They are for party and what makes them look good or what can save them.
We ain't cussing Sian.
No, we're not cussing, but he's the one who came with the excuses.
And I'm happy that he did.
Because he needs to remember that with all of what is happening, one thing I will not put out of my head. If Ras Gonsalves is willing to go drink rum that goes against his health, we could kill him. Because we have an election to win. What are you thinking of going to do?
Well, boy.
Eh? So the thing is that when you look, and again, it goes to show that these people care nothing about Vincentian, but all about party and all about winning the next election. Now you have somebody who is this big in healthcare. She didn't go and play to her strength. So nobody come and say, oh, but I pulling down the woman. Yes. Because what she's doing is not something genuine.
But we're not pulling her down.
This is not pulling down. This is what is in our faces.
No.
This is it. This is what is in our faces. She did not play to her strength. So now you got transferred from being the only person, really, the chief radiology officer. You the person who you're hoping that when you go to the hospital and you have to get an X-ray, you have to get a colonoscopy or something or whatever, that you could look at this person and say, boy, me go get you quick.
Lovely point because
yes,
you're my people.
It point not on neck. It point not on neck. Because now, look, I just saw somebody put a post on Facebook saying they went to the hospital. And they have to wait from now until months later to be able to get an X-ray and so forth. Because guess what? You see where I'm going?
It's more important right now, lumber and galvanize and planting trending.
You see my point?
That's what's trending right now. Sit down and wait. Man, she
So you
already sit down and wait.
Yeah, man. So you move this person to give them legitimacy, to be seen in the face of the people, to look like, hey, this is the hand that you got fed from, so you can't be ungrateful. That is all the mind games that these people are playing. You get it from my hand, so vote for me because you can't be ungrateful.
It could have been done differently where it wasn't that blatant because, I mean, healthcare. So is it that, am I to conclude that healthcare is a non-issue?
But there you go.
Grenadines?
But the Prime Minister himself said that Vincent Chance prefer leadership over healthcare. You forget?
Oh, man, jeez.
You forget? Look, them playing it right here for you. You just forget quick. So here's the thing. With all of that, I reposted something last night because I wanted people to see. Nobody could come and tell me that the Southern Grenadines could not already be fixed up. Nobody could tell me that persons who are still waiting from the volcanic eruption could not have already been fixed up. Brother, the World Bank gave St. Vincent grants and loans. And Fuji, these are things that get to me.
And it must. But the reality is, even if we got $40 million to go towards rebuilding the Southern Grenadines after the passage of Beryl, remember, all of that 40 million did not go towards that because Waze came in with his own money and spent on it.
But there you go, so where the rest go?
All right then.
So my thing is this, Fuji. So my thing is this. Before seeing them come to try to muddy the waters, and I don't see them using the 48 laws of power plenty. Yeah? Instead of trying to come to muddy the waters and have us like withoutish. And if seeing them is so much for country, let's see and come and say, well, the government has a responsibility to give account to all the millions in loans and so forth that come into the country that the director of audit say it can't find anything about.
Boy, I'm hearing some findings coming out for the 2022.
Well, I can't wait to read that.
Brother, if you think 2021 was bad.
Well, you cannot tell me. Cannot tell me because here's something. I want to know if any Vincentian ever heard of this $20 million from the World Bank that we were given to address this issue. And just permit me to read just a little bit of this. Just permit me. This is from the World Bank, eh? St. Vincent and the Grenadines received $40 million from the World Bank to support volcano eruption recovery. This is from the World Bank. The World Bank Board of Executive Directors approved today $40 million for the volcanic eruption emergency project. You ever hear about the project there, St. Vincent?
No.
All right. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the project is also financed by a $2 million grant from the European Union Caribbean Regional Resilience Building Facility, managed by the World Bank Global Facility for Disaster Reduction and Recovery. In April 2020, well, they're going to give you what happened there. They said 22,400 people were displaced. 22,000, eh? Sometimes we don't get some kind of number.
22,000, you say,
22,000, they say here, 22,400 people were evacuated from areas close to the volcano. 22,000. Yes. Yeah? Alright. Here's something now, eh? Here's something. The natural disaster compounded the effects of COVID-19, creating financial needs estimated at $175 million. 23% of the country's gross domestic product in 2021. Listen. The project will help the country build back better while taking into account its vulnerability to natural disasters and the growing threat of climate change. Listen carefully, Listen this. And this was said by Lila Buransiak, World Bank Country Director for Caribbean countries. This project will support the government's efforts to restore infrastructure, stimulate economic activity, and assist the most vulnerable in the population, particularly women. We hope that this project will be a catalyst for growth and strengthen the country's resilience. Let me just go down to some numbers here.
All right, but quickly, it's 9 o'clock, huh?
Because they say it also is there to provide temporary grants to 4,000 displaced households.
Okay, cancel, stick a pen. Just hold on. Don't hang up. Don't hang up.
Vinci, feel that power. The road is calling.
Oh, let me make some noise right now for my play.
We're talking Rise Soca. The energy that lifts you, the sound that moves the crowd.
Only you alone could put fire back in the soul.
This is Road Ready. Get every Fed update, every essential track, every vibe you need for the Bacchanal right here. Boomsy Mass is live. Get Road Ready with the undisputed source for the streets. Only on Boom 1069. Don't just hear the Fed, be the Fed.
Okay, Kenson.
Yes,
I had to do that. All right.
Yeah, no problem. So let me go quickly with this, and I'll come to the point I want to make after reading this. They said, provide temporary grants to 4,000 displaced households and be used to implement a cash for work program to support the labor-intensive work of ash and debris cleaning. How long we saw the place, Tati? Everything has been dragged out, and still, tell me if you have never heard any accounting for this money here. This is the part I wanted to get. In April 2021, the World Bank provided 20 million US to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to address immediate needs. 20 million US. That is like 50 what?
About
50, right, about 53 million EC. You want to tell me 53 million EC dollars could not put on back people's house roof and help strengthen the houses and so forth? The World Bank would have seen that this is enough money to help. So let's see and come and talk on these issues. Let's see and come and tell us why the mobilizers them for agriculture can't get settled now since October last year.
Well, that's where we're going next, you know.
Let's see and come and say, watch me, I am standing on principle and for the country and not party. See and talk, when Council spoke about technology, it was over the weekend. I was thinking, I said, but you realize that Labour came into office just as technology really took off in the world, yet we still living like we're in 1984. And with all of the excuses they give, so when they talk about, oh, you didn't have this scrutiny and that scrutiny, okay, we have it now. But the thing is, even back then, you never heard of all of these discrepancies when it comes to money. You never heard about that.
I mean, and even if it existed, we would have heard about it when.
But the Prime Minister himself said almost every week he was calling a meeting of the PSC. He himself said so. So let him come and tell us now how much discrepancies he saw. Because they were able to come into government, and when I hear Sian and Candyman and then come and talk about, oh, they came in and got a bad hand. Which bad hand? Bad hand how? If you're telling me $55 million in surplus in the treasury is a bad hand. With the lowest our national debt has ever been is a bad hand, then tell me something.
Versus no, present.
Versus no, where our national debt is almost 10 times what it was. So and the thing is, let me just say this before I jump off. You keep on bringing up what didn't happen over 40 years ago. Why do you have to do that? It's because you're telling me plain up, you know that what you have to run on is nothing.
As plain as
So when you're running with this, know that we look in. And here's something, again, let me say to the NDP and the opposition, hello please. As Fuji said, as Jomo said, don't wait. Don't let this thing fester.
Don't wait, me boy.
I know people that can tell me about, oh, it's the people. Yes, it's the people to a degree. But there's also people who are seeking leadership, show leadership now.
Now is the time to step up.
Bring them together. Of course, bring them together. And as somebody said, do it like a boat ride. Bring them from all over the place. Have a good morning, buddy.
All right, everybody. All right, then. We're going to wrap up on that one. All right? Now, it is just unfortunate that this is where we are presently. I mean, Carriacou, just about 20 minutes ride over from Union Island. That was equally devastated. In some parts worse. 6 months, less than 6 months after burial. Let me see. July, August, September. 5 months after burial, we went down to Carriacou and did shopping. Yeah, what I'm telling you? We were able to go to Carriacou and did shopping 5 months after they were devastated by the same hurricane Beryl. Just like Union Island. Union Island, almost an entire year after. And Union Island still struggling. Why? With all the funding that we received to go towards the assistance of persons who were displaced, to persons who lost everything, whether business, home, church, school, we received funding to cover all of that. Almost a year after, we hear pussyfooting with one thing and the next thing and the other. It is clear that somebody is trying to gerrymander the entire process, the electoral process. It is evident. It is as clear as day. All I can say now, to the NDP, you have a task on hand right now where we expect that you would come to the public and let us know where we are, especially the persons directly affected by all that's happening in Southern Grenadines. You have a task, you have a responsibility to come to the public and relieve them of the frustration and the confusion that exists presently. That is your task. Don't wait, please. For heaven's sake, do not wait until you hear the morning after elections, all you down inside they fighting up with petitions and filing petitions because you didn't do what should have been done now. Fix it. Fix it. Alright? Shady, you gonna line up some commercials. We take a quick break and we come back and we, like I said, inside 9 o'clock we shifting gears. Alright, we shifting gears. I gotta remind you. Let me pull up this one. Let me put it. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Get up to $1,000 in rewards when you sign up for a postpaid mobile plan bundled with internet. Then build your carnival pack with smartphones, show tickets, Monday band packs, groceries, gas, and more. That's not a chance to win. That's guaranteed reward for you being a Flow customer. Switch to Flow now. Remember, Rise Soca is coming Wednesday, July 9th inside the Victoria Park. Kess will be here. Flow full blown out to Trinidad will be here. You need to ensure that you're there as well. Don't miss out on the opportunity. Boom 1069, we are providing you with tons of opportunities to ensure that you will be part of the happenings this carnival season. Do not miss out. I Love Rum, that's also coming up July 1st inside the cruise ship terminal. Make sure that you're on the inside. Make sure you are road ready. Like I said, one way to ensure that you are road ready is by keeping it locked inside to Boom 1069. Let's go and we come back.
Well, I don't have time to beef. Lucky for you, my friend. I in a good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes right up to the limits. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah. Good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes ain't cast in a minute. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah. My friend and them couldn't tell you about me. Good people is good people. We only want love in we circle. Yeah. My family couldn't tell you about me. Good people is good people. We only on love. Well, every man make their choices. I say we make sacrifices. We block out the noises. We have to forget the voices. One day we gon' make it. We don't have to fake it. I give you my best. I give you the chain off my neck. I give you my love and respect. But now hear the story. Is you vex with me? Like I do you something. When I hear the shout now, is you vex with me? Like I do the wrong thing, like I do you
Can't
something.
believe a sweet girl like you would I tell ya. No sweetness, tie she weakness, yeah, yeah. No feelings, just walk it up like you mean it. No sweetness, tie she weakness, yeah, yeah. No feelings, just walk it up like you mean it. Girl, wine and go down, waistline flow like a melody. Go down, pretty girl, you are the recipe. Go down, fire in the kitchen, my girl, how you cook them, let me see. Nice man can keep your interest. Come with flowers and they get dismissed. You have to handle the business proper. Oh Lord, tell what she like, tell what she like. She wants some action in she life. Come good or just don't come at all. Tell what she like, tell what she like. She want the roughness in she life. And when I put down the work, watch out she face light up. Boy, no sweetness, die she weakness, yeah, yeah. No feelings, just walk it up like you mean it. No sweetness, die she weakness, yeah, yeah. No feelings, yeah, yeah.
Sexy whiner, I just love how your waistline on fire. To wine on you is my heart's desire. Your wine keep taking me higher and higher. Yeah, yeah. Sexy whiner, come wine up on me. Put your body all over my body. Sexy whiner, come give me that wine. Give me the wine. Just bubble and bubble and bubble one time and wine.
You turn me on just by breathing. Beautiful living.
Come Wamping, you can't tell me these are not great tracks. Come on, Wamping. Stop seeking out the negative.
I love everything about you. Every little thing that you do. I love everything about you. Your eyes, your lips, your shape, your ways, your thoughts. Everything about you.
Now, when it was, I think it was just last week, there was an article that came out via an opinion piece. Well, it came under a letter to the editor. Last week, no, week before, from, well, an adult educator / teacher, whichever one of the terms you prefer to use, right? In relation to them not being paid for adult education classes, the service that they provide on a daily basis, well, weekly, to students, well, adult students across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All right, and from what they shared there, it has been over a year that they have not been paid for the service they provide as adult educators, as teachers, who some of them would be teachers from 9 or from 8 o'clock, 8:15 up until 3 o'clock. And, you know, based on, I guess, maybe the community or how busy they get after they give up their time. They give up their time and provide a service and assist adults who are outside of the school system. And they provide them, they assist them with classes, and in some extent, to some extent, going and writing subjects. We've seen the stories where persons, they didn't get to complete the regular school. Now, as we know it, whether at the primary level or secondary level, even at the tertiary level, classes are being provided for all these different sectors. For some persons who did not get to finish, to complete we've seen the stories where, because of the adult education program, they were facilitated to develop themselves, further develop themselves, pick back up from where they left off. Now we're hearing last week before, that these same educators who gave up their time are not being paid, or have not been paid for over a year. Now we heard from persons working within the Ministry of Health recently as well, that some of them were not paid for like 3 months. Then they were paid something like around February, and then they basically back again to the situation of not being paid. So that's adult educators. Then you have those within the Ministry of Health at different levels. Now we're hearing that mobilizers who are hired to work on the Zero Hunger Trust Fund, that make up part and parcel of the services being provided or programs being offered by the Ministry of Agriculture. We're hearing that persons who worked on this particular project from October last year, it's May 2025, and they haven't been paid for 8 months? They haven't been paid for 8 months. What are your thoughts? What are your views? When we come back, let's go pay some bills. We go out for a little bit. You hit me up when we come back. What's really going on? Because I'm certain that these programs would have a budget, so they know how many people will be employed and how many it would cost for them to pay salaries. 8 months and workers haven't been paid. What's going on? Where the money gone? Where the money going? Who misappropriating the funds? Is it misappropriation of funds? When we come back.
OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 1069.
Our Caribbean offers so much more beyond.
Let's go! Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no money back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we telling now. Spin it over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 1069. Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
For that.
For 40 years, we've refined the rhythm of beer, mastering the balance of bold and smooth, crafting flavors that echo through SVG. Between the limes and the laughter, we've carried our expertise across the Caribbean, one brew at a time, perfecting the process, deepening the craft, learning what makes beer not just tasted, but felt. And now, with all that we've learned, we bring you what's next. The next wave of refreshment, the next chapter in our story, the next taste to define a generation, not just another drink. This is the extension of who we are, the next experience, the next icon, imagined and brewed right here at home. It's not just what's next for us, it's what's next for you. It's what's beyond expectations. Own it, define it, make your mark. High Rune next. This is the extension of passion, of possibility. High Rune next. The future of beer. Made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the hands that have mastered the craft for 40 years.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I am back on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride. Not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips. Beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast, and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
36 minutes inside 9 o'clock.
Inside this rhythm is the
she skin out. She don't like clothes, she skin out. If you see she on the road, oh, she skin out. No matter what she wearing, she skin out. Side. All in the road.
The girl are whining mad, walking up them ways, boy, acting like they going mad. From see how they carry on.
Let we go now.
As the sun rise, it's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
A blessing.
It's a blessing, yeah.
No, it's carnival, no more stress.
We don't wanna stress.
No.
We just wanna be free.
Peace from everywhere, glad to be here. They're ready for the mass and fun. Nothing compared, so give life a check.
Best mass.
Now we jamming at the July sun, having a time of life.
Yes, we having a time.
Everywhere's pandemonium, having a time of life.
We doing the dirty
We
dance.
sick in our cranium, having a time of life.
Yes, we having a time.
Everywhere's pandemonium, having a time of life.
We doing the dirty
We
dance.
sick in our cranium. It's a carnival season. We sick in our cranium. Everywhere's pandemonium.
No sleeping, no sleep. No sleeping, no sleep. Party time, get up, get up.
Party time, get up. Listen. Tunes like these, you have to make sure that you're ready. That you are road ready. Boom 1069, we will ensure that you fit and you're ready. You are well equipped to handle Vincy Mass 2025. No sleeping. Okay, so let's go. Unemployment, was thrown out or brought into the conversation last week, 2 weeks ago, just about, when we heard from Minister of Finance Camilo Gonzalez, where he reported that the current state of employment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the overall performance of the economy, was on the up. Unemployment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, he says, was less than 10% present day. Yeah? So how do you decipher what is really happening here? So unemployment is up. Persons are being employed, but they're not being paid. So isn't that voluntarism? Listen, that's the devil. That's the devil that tripped in there. Sorry. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. Help me. How could it be a situation where we sing unemployment? Well, unemployment is less. Single digit, he says, single digit. Less than 10% amongst the labor force. Persons within the age range who are eligible for work. 10% less than 10%, he says. Is it voluntarism then? Because there's employment but persons are not being paid. Voluntarism? Max, what's up, my brother?
We're going on. Quick question I want to ask, and maybe one of the intellectuals could answer for me, please. when somebody work and don't get paid, do that add or take away from the employment numbers that us brag about?
Well, that
me
question, I have the same question. I mean, how do we categorize it?
Because me hear some government employees, some public servants just send them children school without proper supplies, and it's the teachers and them from the kindness of their heart have to be begging here, there, and everywhere.
Facts.
They have to be begging here, there, and everywhere, and me help support them, and people say, Lord, it's the body of child, it's the body of the child.
Facts. That's facts, my brother.
And it's because I am a Vincentian fugitive, and I'm not doing it for the parents who supporting the party. I'm doing it for the future of my country. I go help them children. Regardless if them and some of the parents are doing for no. Teachers just reach out to people all over the place, and because they know me hearts off, Jeffrey Providence hearts off, we go lend them and give them.
We chip in and we assist.
We give them, and the teachers of them, they don't say nothing about such and such child. Such and such child.
We chip in and we assist, my brother. That's the reality.
But
brethren, a whole year, you know. 8 months, you know.
And when we talk now, you see, but we think it's fugitive. That's why we just cuss them pan my own platform. We can't come pan boom and cuss them. We just cuss them pan my own platform.
Right.
Because some of them same people, they vex when me and you highlight issues. That is affecting them.
My brother, boy, it's a
sad
state.
That's why Nocturne, the slave man, end up and kill some of the slave of them, because some of the slave of them couldn't go with the liberation because
hold on, caller. Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, lay out the caller. Lay out the caller. I just want to call and ask a question. So one of them could ask me, does this situation help? All right, don't help. The numbers
Let Max steady.
Okay, Max, hold on, Max. Don't hang up, Max. Don't hang up. The caller wants you online.
I can again.
Oh, yes. What's up? Talk to me.
Listen, morning, Max. Listen.
Morning, brother.
Listen. I just saw something that is so disheartening.
Why is that?
And so, sometimes before I go there, let me just say, it was this very government and Prime Minister and the mouthpieces that keep on saying that under this government, nobody ever had to say they never get the salary. That is a lie. As a matter of fact, we have seen just recently where a contractor had to lock up a school and say, "Elmo, money." We know of so many contractors who have to take money out of their pockets to do government work and then still have to take a cut when it comes to them being paid.
Yes.
When they agree to, they cannot be paid. Note, all of this happening while they are dragging St. Vincent economy going,
It's on the up. It's on the
up. Economy going,
It's on the up. Unemployment down.
And Max, again, you just said it sometimes, and we know you and others have to be helping parents here to send the children to school. Camilo,
of course.
As a matter of fact, the 2018 poverty assessment, Camilo himself stated that with the school closing, if the schools have to close, there are many students who are going to slide into starvation.
Right.
This is an official report.
Because it's the school feeding program that will save a lot of students.
Come on.
My God.
But that is another bubble to the school feeding program. If I look and see who control the school feeding program, tax people,
Okay then.
So
let me look at something here. Let me look at something here. I just saw something there, gentlemen. Where you see the same thing we're fighting about for the mobilizers and so forth. Brother, when are people going to wake up and stop allowing party politics to dictate that they care about themselves?
No.
Brother, I just saw from a chat that they have, boy. Sometimes you have to wonder why they're out here championing certain things, Because there are people now questioning why persons have to go and put the thing out on the news. Because they thought everybody walk comrades. The same thing with the mobilizers not being paid.
But brother, even you see that same point, I was about to make a similar point. Because hold on, when you remember a while ago I mentioned what was happening within among some workers who still might be employed at the Ministry of Health. I remember when I was told about that situation where they were not being paid, you know, when somebody highlighted that it was overbearing, and this was highlighted by a single mother who battling by herself. A lot of people bawling because they see Straw, the movie on Netflix. We have single mothers here who going through similar situations or even worse.
But they don't care.
No,
They don't care.
no, that, you know what she was told when she highlighted her cause to the supervisor at that ministry is that, oh, they want to make everything political. So highlighting the fact that you haven't been paid for 5 months was making it political. Yeah?
Brother, we know so many people, look, just 2 weeks ago, a brother of mine said he went to Georgetown, met a guy, the guy asked him if he could give him a ride, please, from Georgetown down the road. Yeah? Met the guy said, boy, he worked with two government institutions. And up to now, he can't get paid from none of them. Was to clean up somewhere and to work on a building. Can't get paid for none. When he think that he got Georgetown to the bank, use the last $2 he has to pay van, think he can get money. When he go, nothing. Call treasury, nothing. Now a man call him was to head some dashing for $50. He tell him, man, no, you can look for some money from things so he can go. You know where you get the right for? To go back to go try find the man to make a $50 for the day. Because the money that he's supposed to get is to just go and pay a shop and supposed to have been taking things from until he get paid.
Alright.
And this is the realities here.
My brother. Well, we're gonna catch up. We got some time. We have to pay some bills. We're gonna have to wrap it up. Alright. We got Pastor coming in a little bit. Alright, Max, thank you, my brother. What we really doing, boy? What we really doing? So, where is the money going? And who should be held accountable? No. Mind you, this is not one ministry, you know. This is not two ministry, you know. I shared what is happening from 3. Maybe the others are silent, who knows? Maybe not. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Brother Fuji.
Morning.
I'll be very short. I want to stop talk because, I mean, I am talking because I've been talking for 16 years and nothing happening. But I just call my brother Luke. Well, I mean, they don't allow me much, but thank you very much. At least I tell them I get in here. But 32 million is an overdraft. I knew it was an overdraft limit. So an overdraft limit is basically when the money run out. In the case of government, the consolidated fund, you have tourism, agriculture, the thing we should have had citizens bringing money. So that is dry up. No agriculture, no tourism. That's a fact. Nobody come here with no, whether you're press secretary or whatsoever you see, and it doesn't matter whether you're Friday. The reality is that 32 million is the overdraft. That is the overdraft Mr. Fitzpatrick had to go with for years.
Hamo. We're talking about.
What I'm saying, that 32 million, my brother, has now been risen to 85. Because remember when you... What I'm saying...
What are you talking about?
I am saying there is absolutely no monies.
Okay.
So therefore you can't buy medicines, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay Vilnec, you can't pay the workers a prop. And I'm saying the solution is not for Hammy to talk whole day. Short and sweet. We got to get people in there. We had Annie Eustace, we had James Mitchell that can run the country and can run it honestly. I ain't even talked about corruption yet. We got to get Gonsalve out. Make somebody like me to say that. Gonsalve was not today. I God love you very much.
All right then, my boy. All right. Okay, let me take one more quickly. I should end that one. Do this one. Good morning.
Yes, fugitive.
Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
I think Hampton been dishonest when he said that the public servants never received their salary.
They never what?
They received their salary with government. Since the government get in power in 2001, all public servants get paid. I would just specify quickly. Wait. When I say public servant, listen to me very carefully, English language. We're talking about the people in the civil service, the nurses and the policemen. Since the government get into office in 2001, all civil servants get paid.
All right.
There's a few, wait, for the kids. There might be a few individuals who get paid because of the document they sent to the treasury and so on, service commission and so on. maybe delay. Somebody went on maternity leave and they didn't get paid. They resume in time and so forth, and they didn't send up some administrative level that they didn't get paid.
Right.
But
Understood.
I'm talking about the public servant
Yes,
themselves.
I get you. I get that part.
Yeah.
I get that part.
So,
But what is
there are
happening
some
with
people
those?
with contract.
Right.
Yeah,
What's
the contracts didn't get paid.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, sometimes contract get delay and so on, delay and so forth.
I mean,
you know?
a month, 2 months, 3 months. Oh God, but a year, 8 months?
Yeah, that be long enough. But the government has provided areas that they could get some money, the contractors, so they could pay the workers. In the meantime, the contracts still on hold. You understand?
But that's happening.
So money is provided by the bank for them to get that money, so they could pay the workers during the time. Yeah? Why they wait for another 6 months, another 3 months and so on.
But that's not happening. It ain't happening. Because a whole year, if you have persons complaining that they haven't been paid for an entire year, persons complaining that they haven't been paid for 8 months, that's crazy. And you expect them that they show up to work every single day.
I agree with that one.
I mean,
Okay,
that's
thanks,
all right then, cool, thank you. That's madness, that's total insanity. Fireman voice. Anyways, we're gonna stick up in there. Hold on the calls, please. Hold on the calls. We had to go out, pay some bills. Pastor would be in with us shortly. All right, so let's do this. And we come right back. When we come back, Pastor Richards will be inside with us.
It's the launch of the biggest, baddest Calypso 10, the On Tour. Going down at the Russell's Auditorium.
Let's go! Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Ain't got no money back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we're telling now.
Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 1069.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
For that.
For 40 years, we've refined the rhythm of beer, mastering the balance of bold and smooth, crafting flavors that echo through SVG. Between the limes and the laughter, we've carried our expertise across the Caribbean, one brew at a time, perfecting the process, deepening the craft, learning what makes beer not just tasted, but felt. And now, with all that we've learned, we bring you what's next. The next wave of refreshment, the next chapter in our story, the next taste to define a generation, not just another drink. This is the extension of who we are, the next experience, the next icon, imagined and brewed right here at home. It's not just what's next for us, it's what's next for you. It's what's beyond expectations. Own it, define it, make your mark. Hyrule next. This is the extension of passion, of possibility. Hyrule next. The future of beer. Made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the hands that have mastered the craft for 40 years.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I am back on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled.
Okay, so we're standing by to make a live link up, the usual link up with Pastor Richards. You know, the expected bringing of the blessings every single morning. Well, Mondays to Thursdays inside OMG. God knows we need it. Yeah? God knows we need it. So we're on standby. Haven't seen him as yet. But I guess we'll wait a little bit and see how that goes. Be locked inside Boom 1069. Getting you ready for Vincy Mass 2025. Making sure that you are road ready. Remember our Carnival Concert Series. We're kicking off that this coming Friday morning. You're going to love it. Action packed. Fully blazing. Yeah? Make sure you're inside with us. OMG on a Friday morning gonna be steaming.
I buy me ticket, then hop on a plane and I take off. Soon as I land down, me and this rum bound to face off. Call up me gal cause I'm ready to take all this weight off. If you're looking for me, then just know I'm on vacation. Been walking for so long and now I think it's my time to play. So please don't judge me if you see me acting that type of way. I'm here to do the most and act the fool, so please bear with me. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I come to faith, and in the end we jump.
But Shady, talking all thing in one here. This is Z1, big up Z1. Big up Z1. Z1 is from Union Island as well, right? He's a Union man. Yeah. I plan to bring him inside, and because I think he has about 3 good tracks. Is 3?
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, about 3 songs out this year.
Yeah, this year. Really nice. Really, really nice. I'm going to be bringing him inside with us one of these mornings. But you realize, in spite of all that went on with Union Island and the devastation from Beryl, you had a lot of great tracks out to you. We have a lot of great tracks out to Union Island this year, you know. Yeah. Big up the Union Island base. Vincy artists. Definitely represented. Vincy Mass 2025, eh?
Daxy's on the road, so you won't be able to make it in today.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead.
All right, so Pastor won't be joining us this morning. More than likely he'll make up for that tomorrow morning. All being well and it being the will of the Lord and all them nice things. All right? But yeah, I'm saying a lot excellent production. A lot of great music that we have this year. All right? Let me facilitate this caller. Sorry I missed them before we took the break. And I did ask, you know, to give me a chance until after, you know, but yeah, let's do this. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Fuji.
Hey, morning.
Good morning
Welcome
to the audience.
Lucky you.
I think Shady's with you.
Lucky you,
Yeah,
Pastor is not in this morning. So,
Okay, great.
Talk
This
to
is
me.
Nyla John, and I've been listening to you guys on the radio talk about several issues from the Southern Grenadines to the fact that workers haven't been paid for 8 months.
Mhm.
I just have a
And
question
a
for
year.
Vincentians. Oh, 8 months and a year. Okay.
No, I
So
mean
I
no.
just have
Two different cases. Huh? One
two
set
different
is 8
cases.
months.
Okay,
Another set is a year.
got it. So here's a question for Vincentians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to start doing some critical thinking. Um, have we ever heard that ministers of government haven't been paid, that they haven't been given their travel allowance, their allowance for their mobile phone, their allowance for entertainment, and
Hey,
their salaries every month? We need to start critically thinking.
hey.
So when it
You
affects
on to
poor people
something
in the
there.
nation, right? Who cares? Right? And I came to St. Vincent. I was only there for about a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I was blown away by what I was seeing in the country. The level of poverty, people on the street selling
I thought you
stuff.
were
I
going to
mean,
say progress.
every corner that you turn, right? You see the people are depressed and the environment is depressed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first question for Vincentians. Have we ever heard where government ministers are giving up their salary
Mm-hmm.
to pay those said workers that haven't been paid for 8 months?
No,
Okay.
I am tempted to say that I haven't heard of it.
Okay. I've never heard of it either.
Can't say that it's not
Right.
being done. There might be one or two good Samaritans, I hope, because
Well, if there's one or two good Samaritans, I'm sure they would publicize it because it would be great for them, right? For their political campaign.
But I mean,
So
just
here,
imagine 8 months without your salary.
yep, 8 months, and that's people $1,200 a month.
$1,200.
So just imagine, just $1,200 a month that the government cannot pay, right? I mean, this is outrageous.
But
Southern
let's-
Grenadines issue. Southern Grenadines issue. I don't want to. I want other people to be able to call in and comment and whatever.
Mhm.
But the Southern Grenadines issue, Jomo has profoundly spoke on this matter
Mhm.
on several occasions. We've had people call in about the Southern Grenadines. The Southern Grenadines is an issue that needs to be addressed. We cannot have where someone has called the supervisor of election and is waiting for a response.
Mhm.
The Southern Grenadines is a target, and it is strategically being mastered by the current administration. People need to stop thinking on the surface level in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We need critical thinkers, and we also need free thinkers. And I think that's what lacks in St. Vincent. And not because you may poke at the opposition or poke at the government. You need to poke at the opposition. You need to poke at the government because at the end of the day, we are fighting for the people of the nation. We're not fighting for politicians. We're fighting for the people. And that is what people need to recognize. Let me say one more thing, Fuji. Political fanatics on both sides are destructive to the political parties in that country. And the political fanatics need to stop, pull back, recognize what they're doing. You're pushing people away from the party. You're not bringing people to the party. You're pushing people away on both sides, right? And that's why, and I will say this profoundly, and people can say whatever they want, but this is why Ralph has mastered what he does. Because you could be his worst enemy, you could be his worst opponent, his strongest opponent, and he would love you and hug you in front of everyone. And that is something that people need to learn. You don't push people away from you who don't support you. You bring them
try to
in
get them
so
as
that
close
they
as
can
possible.
support you.
Yeah.
Correct. And there's politicians in that country on both sides that need to learn that and understand that. When you have somebody opposing you, that's when you bring them closer to you, right? And that's a master political strategy that this current administration has done. The Southern Grenadines, you guys are looking at it from a surface level. Why for the Hurricane Beryl hit the Southern Grenadines 1 year ago? Isn't it correct? The July 4th is going to be 1 year.
Yep.
So we're short about a month, 3 weeks or so.
Just about.
Why hasn't the government, right, fixed back the Grenadines? Because it's a master plan. It's a
course it is a plan.
strategy.
Of course
it's
it
a
is.
strategy for
And
the
it's a
election.
strategy that I called out from
Correct.
since day one. It was evident.
That's right.
As clear as day.
That is right. And so, why would you fix back? Why would you fix back the homes and the infrastructure of the Southern Grenadines when you could displace the people and now have them to vote in different constituencies where you know that you have a stronghold,
even
right?
attempt to control the way in which they vote.
Correct, right? And Travis makes a valid point. Why not put a polling station for the Southern Grenadines right there at the Arnesville tarmac where the school is? Or make the school, because usually the schools are used for people to vote, right? So why not make that school a polling station for the Southern Grenadines, and we count those votes, and we count the votes that were voted in the Southern Grenadines, and let's go from there. Why not? Right?
Well, I guess maybe to answer that, I guess we'll wait and hear what the response from the supervisor of election is.
No, we can't wait.
No. I don't mean wait as in waiting forever and ever. I mean wait as in at least she's going to respond.
Forever.
Yeah, of course we've been waiting.
It is 1 year.
I mean, in terms of finding out, that's when we'll find out what will be done.
It will be too late then.
Of course,
Fuji.
it will be too late. It's
too
too late already. It's already too late.
That is a major problem.
It's already
Here's
too late.
Here's a question I have for Vincentians. If the current administration wins back and the Governor General and Vincentians sit back and allow the Governor General to put this current administration, swear the Prime Minister back into office, Vincentians are to blame and the opposition is to blame. And people, the fanatics, can go off on me. But it's time that Vincentians wake up and start critically thinking about their country. The country is in a deplorable state. It is in a depressed state. The people are depressed and the environment is depressed.
But you see,
Fuji?
another thing that affects this entire process. People want to see unification. It makes no sense. It makes no sense that you say to me that we're fighting for the same cause, for the same reason, or main objective is to get to this particular goal, this particular place, but we're fighting. Makes absolutely no sense to me. So you're fighting me, I am fighting you, but we're fighting for the same thing. Absolutely no sense.
Well, we would then have to go all the way back to slavery, right? Because if you and I are fighting for the same cause, but we're fighting each other, that makes no sense. You're correct, right? And people need to understand that we're all, but I'll tell you this, I'm not fighting for a political party. I'm fighting for the people of the nation because I see how they're abused. I see how poor people are unable to get the resources that they so need. Do you understand me? I see how the social ills in that country have been neglected for years. I see how people are abused, how people aren't being paid their salaries, how senior citizens are treated in that country, how women are treated in that country. We need to start unifying on the front of fighting for the people of the nation, regardless of what political party.
That is all. If you're fighting for the people, you're fighting for the people. You can't tell me that you're fighting for the people today, but tomorrow you have issues with the same people that you're fighting for. Absolutely no sense.
Correct.
All right, but we're gonna have
Thank
to
you
end
so
it
much,
there.
Fuji.
I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Continue to call.
Yes,
all right?
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
good
much.
day.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's gonna do it for today. That's where we're gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you very much, all those of you who called, all those of you who shared via the WhatsApp, via the live stream. Here's where we're gonna wrap it up. DJ Shady, the fugitive, we're signing out, making sure that you are road ready. Vincy Mas 2025. Remember, all the giveaways, all the surprises, all the interviews, all the vibe, all the experience, VIP experience and all. You'll get it all right here. Keep it locked inside Boom 1069. Until tomorrow, we do it all over again. Peace, of enough love. We're out of here.